Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 30 Days of Recovery. I am Travis the Featherhawk Snyder. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and what that means for me is I haven't had a mind or mood-altering chemical for over 5 years, and as a direct result of that, I am blessed and grateful to have many incredible changes in my life due to a lot of hard work, a lot of diligence, a lot of opening on my heart and mind to a greater source of love, and just a lot of humble deeds on a daily basis. And so here we are for episode 27 of 30 Days of Recovery. And for those tuning in for the first time, this was a basic idea I came up with, something to challenge myself to give back to the recovering community, give back to people here in Schuylkill County, anybody that may come across this video, talking about a subject and how it relates to my personal story of addiction and recovery, with the hopes of just reaching people out here, maybe inspiring some people to, do positive things in their lives, or maybe they can learn something from my lived experience. And so here we are today with another topic, and today is going to be this evening, because it is pretty late, it's going to be an interesting topic, medication assisted treatment. And so this is something basically like if you hear about things like Suboxone or methadone or Vivitrol, these are all things that are used for the medication assisted treatment. And this has always been a very touchy subject with let me just adjust this mic here. This is always a touchy subject, and I really don't have a complete opinion, I guess, on this on all of this. All I have really is some of my own experience, and maybe some and just from what I've met with other people and their experience with medication assisted treatment. And ultimately, who am I to really judge what's gonna work for another person or works for other people? Ultimately, and I say that word a lot, ultimately, the question might be rather not necessarily what you're taking, but what it is that you are doing on a daily basis. Okay, so if it's, no matter what we're doing, if we're in the world living destructively or creating chaos or consuming things that, in turn harm ourselves or cause harm and disorder to other people, what is it that we're doing on a daily basis to, create balance and to create harmony and to create, peace and stability and mindfulness in our lives. And, for some people, medical assisted treatment is that pathway. Being on a good program of, whatever it may be, whether it be Suboxone, methadone, Vivitrol, and then having that as well as good treatment and being in groups and finding actually a pathway to maybe move away from that, like rebuilding a life in recovery and learning recovery while being on the medication. Now, I personally had experienced some of this before, and it was, I'm not sure exactly what year it was, but I literally Googled Suboxone doctors and found a doctor that, I could go to, and went in and told them, what was going on, and was prescribed Suboxone. At the time, I really did want to get off of the heroin, but it's just interesting because after getting it and not really having proper treatment and not going to groups and not being involved in and actually working in recovery, working my recovery, I basically had this new thing that could kind of keep me in the game. And, I'm just one person. I'm not saying everybody out there that's doing these programs is the same. As a matter of fact, I've met a lot of people that live pretty good lives, pretty good quality of life, and are on medical assisted treatment programs. Me, not so much. When I was on Suboxone, it was just like it was almost like having that like go-to backup plan. And it just really, truly just kept me in the game, and it kept me going. And, I see a lot of people that are really have been on a lot of these Suboxone and methadone for a very long time. And when I have conversations with these people, like, it seems like it's the linchpin in their life. It's the thing that the last thing that they really want to just break themselves free from. And they all have different names for it, the orange monster, the orange devil. Like, I haven't heard anything from methadone, but like, it's like just having that dependency. You can see that it's just like it tears them up. And I've actually, some people that I've met that were on Suboxone and managed to actually get off of it. And wow, it's almost like it's a huge battle. It's really a huge battle, but I gotta tell you, seeing people that are able to find a way out of that it shows me that it is possible. And I'm not saying it's possible for everyone the way that this person did it, but ultimately you could see the huge change. You could see that something was lifted from that person. And so I really don't have an overall opinion on medically assisted treatment. Truthfully, I'm ultimately not here. I'm not in a position to really judge whether one person's in recovery or not in recovery, whether depending on what they're doing. There's certain programs that really will maybe look down on people who choose that path. But that's for them. I'm not here to judge anyone on what their pathway to recovery is. Ultimately, if you're on a medically assisted treatment program and it's working for you, and it's bringing peace and health and happiness and stability and bringing a stable life and pulling you away from the chaos and from that destructive life and addiction, then that is a step forward in the right direction. And ultimately, like, that's really where we want to be. Every individual it's gonna come down to each individual and what they're willing to do to find that peace and to find that kindness and to find a way to almost bring a positive lifestyle into place. And just so for anybody out there that is struggling with being on a program, maybe you want to get off of Suboxone, maybe you want to move past the methadone, or I think that I really don't have an answer on exactly how that's done, but I do know it is very possible. I'm not a doctor. I don't have all the answers here. I simply know I've met a lot of people that have overcome and are living life, substance free from dependency. And I encourage everyone out there in recovery, to aim for that goal of total freedom from dependency of mind or mood-altering chemicals. But I'm not here to judge either. I got nothing but love for anyone out there. If you have to use these medically assisted programs to really bring order into your life and to get yourself on the right track, then that's what it's going to be. I'm pro recovery. I'm not here to label anyone. This person's in recovery, that person's in recovery. I'm just, all I really have is my own recovery, truthfully. And I can just be a positive example for others. And so I just want everyone to know, however you're getting it out there, as long as you're doing the right things and you're living an honest, a life with some integrity, and that you're using these programs the way they're meant to be, to get yourself into a better place in life, and then working your recovery, going to meetings, getting around, going to treatment, going to groups, and finding this stability, and then weaning yourself off and getting on the right track, and living in long-term recovery, free from all dependency. But my prayers go out to all people, wherever you are, whether you're on a medically assisted program, whether you're completely free and you're in recovery. And for anyone out there that wants to pass judgment on people, like where they're at in their recovery and how they're getting it, I mean, just take a minute to really think about, are you in a position to do that? And I'm here to say I'm not in a position to talk about who's in recovery, who's not in recovery. Again, so medication assisted treatment, it's a touchy subject for many. For me, I'd love to see just all people in recovery living free from any dependency of any chemical. But I got love for you no matter where you're at, and that's my stance on it. If you want to learn if you want to learn some things, I got some lived experience. I got some experience, strength, and hope to share with you. And I hope to see everyone, breaking free from the bondage of those dependencies. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. I know this is kind of like I said, it's a touchy subject for some people, but just know that it's all about peace. It's all about harmony. It's all about stability. It's all about finding balance. And, that's what these things are used for. And then, I just pray that those people that do find a way out. Find a way out from that dependency and really break free. It is possible. I've seen it. I have a lot of friends that have done it. All right. God bless everyone. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of 30 Days of Recovery. I will see you tomorrow for day 28. Thank you so much. Bye.